by not being able to ride the brand new ride was definitely overshadowed by the public humiliation of being asked to step on a scale, and then further than that, being told you're overweight.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today we found the dumbest story of 2022. This is like a mega irony, all right? You're gonna be face palming your face palm. Basically, we got this dad who's really mad at some water park employees, right? Now, to understand this, we need some backstory, right? Basically, there's this entire family who loves going to this water park, this famous water park called the Raging Rivers. Now, the story goes like this, right? Today is his daughter's 13-year-old birthday, right? He wants to take her to this water park they always go to, and they want to ride this ride called the Mississippi Monster. The Mississippi Monster. I would not ride that. Sounds very scary. Now, the family has a tradition of visiting this water park and trying out the new rides, right? So, on his daughter's birthday, he tried to take her to the Mississippi Monster, but she was rejected from the ride. Now get this, right? Because of being rejected from this ride, this dad went on national television and is telling everyone that this water park caused his daughter mental trauma. Now, it's not exactly how it went down, so let's just check out why she was rejected from the ride and who exactly is causing his daughter mental trauma.
A 13-year-old girl started her day looking forward to fun at Illinois' Raging Rivers Water Park, only to have it end in sheer embarrassment.
We, as parents, now have to, undo the emotional damage that this, corporate company cost us.
Andrew Batten took his family to the popular amusement park, hoping to get on their newest ride, the Mississippi Monster. When they got to it, Batten says a worker then asked his 13-year-old daughter to hop on a scale in front of strangers.
And I looked at that, and I kind of looked at my wife, and the guy looked at us, and he was like, to my daughter, he was like, you need to step on the scale. She steps on the scale and she's 205.
The ride has a 200-pound weight limit.
Now, I'm no doctor, but at this point, you can probably start to see a little bit of brain damage creep into your noggin over here. Basically, the daughter was too heavy for the ride, so she was rejected from the ride for her own safety, okay? We had a similar situation in a video previously where this girl was really mad at this employee basically saving her life.
So I waited in line for almost an hour for the first Harry Potter line, and I get up to the top of the line, and the guy picks me out of a line and says, have you ridden this before? I was like, no. He's like, well, you got to go try the test seat, which tells me that he has had training on how to be fat phobic.
Right? Saying you can't get on the ride because you're too heavy, the ride might not be equipped to handle your weight, and the ride might malfunction, you might fall off, something might happen, and that could cost you your life. So let's just get a grip on the situation here. First off, he's saying that the 13-year-old daughter had to step on a weight scale, and that has somehow caused her emotional damage because it was in front of other strangers. If you don't want to step on a weight scale, you can't get on the ride, okay? It's as simple as that. It's literally a safety check, okay? I don't know how delusional you have to be, but you can't go on it. That's kind of like a doctor prescribing you medication and saying, do you have any pre-existing illnesses? Basically doing something super routine, checking if there's any interactions with previous medications or different illnesses, and you're taking offense to it. You're like, oh, this is traumatizing my daughter. I'm sorry, she's not gonna be traumatized by standing on a weighing scale, okay? That's not what traumatizes people, okay? You know what is gonna traumatize people? You going on national television and telling everybody your 13-year-old daughter is 205 pounds. Bro, okay, I don't know if you're not taking care of your daughter. I mean, obviously you aren't if you're letting her get to that way. And also, she's gonna look back on this and be like, I was on national television because of my stupid dad,
To have a company be responsible for such a massive mental impact on my daughter it's tough.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna lose it. I'm trying to stay calm, but massive mental impact on my daughter. Can we not see the absolute raging irony here? Okay, so she showed her weight in front of how many people? Let's consider the extreme. The water park was filled with people. How much is that gonna be that actually saw her weight, Let's say 10, 20 people saw her weight, and then including the water park employee 21 people max. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like maybe 4 or 5, right? That's pretty much, nobody's paying attention to what some other person weighs on a scale while standing in line for their favorite, I don't know, water park ride or something, right? But now it's gone from 20 people to, how many views does this video have? About 5 to 8 million. Good job, daddy. You totally helped with your daughter's emotional damage. Now, once again, this is completely ignoring the fact that you're going after a company who's implemented a policy to protect its clientele, you know, to protect the people going on the rides. What would you rather happen? That okay, they ask for your daughter's weight, and then she gets a little self-esteem issue, right? First off, it's your fault that your daughter is 100 pounds. She's 13 years old. You control her diet. You control everything about her life. She shouldn't be that weight, okay? It's unhealthy. So my question to this guy is, would you rather the employee just not ask your daughter's weight at all, and then just let her get on the ride, and then something happens on the ride, she falls off, you know, it's too heavy, the equipment isn't strong enough to hold her, and she falls off and dies? Is that what you would rather happen? Because listen, I'm just gonna be honest, I'm looking at the situation here, and I'm concluding that you are an irresponsible dad. You can't take care of your daughter, okay? You bought her to a water park on her birthday, and okay, maybe you weren't expecting them to ask for your weight, which is odd, because they should always be asking for that if you're going on any sort of major ride. And you said you've been to this water park a bunch of times. I guess they didn't ask for it before, and then they suddenly implemented this new policy. But this is just part of safety measures. You kind of have to do this, right? But to me, as an outsider looking in, this just looks like a story of a really entitled and selfish dad who wants to put all the like damage he's caused his daughter onto someone else, right? She wouldn't be having any self-esteem issues or emotional damage if, one, you took better care of her, and if, two, you didn't put her on national TV.
A Raging River spokesperson told KMOV the decision was made to prioritize guest safety. But Batten says there were no signs indicating a weight limit.
I get the safety, but just communicate.
And that's exactly what Batten did. He posted about his family's experience at the park on Facebook and tagged the company in it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, prepare for a migraine. Debated on posting this, but I think everyone should at least be aware. So Raging River's water park opened up their new water slide today after more than a year of delays. How has that got anything to do with it? Okay. And words cannot begin to describe my sadness, anger, and disappointment at the current moment. My 13-year-old daughter, who has been a season ticket holder for her entire life, has been beyond excited for this new ride. Through all the delays in rollout and all the announcements leading up to it, there's never any mention of a weight limit. Neither was there any mention of a weight limit at the bottom of the hill, as she and her friends excitedly climbed the hill to ride the monster for the first time, only to get to the top and be confronted with the scale. Let's leave out the amazingly damaging psychological impact of forcing a young woman to publicly weigh herself for her safety. Dude, what? But to have to see my daughter's eyes welling up with tears as she is turned away for being 5 pounds over. Why are you acting like 5 pounds is the difference between life and death? What the hell are you talking about? 5 pounds over, there's a max limit, okay? Listen, not to be rude, but the ride needs to be able to contain the person, okay? You can't go on an airplane with 500 kilograms worth of luggage, okay? There's a reason, because it's gonna fall down, bro. Or some other corporate reasons, but you get what I mean. The employee was extremely upset as well and explained that the scene had been playing out all day and many people had been upset or surprised by that restriction. Okay, I will admit, okay, a little bit of a hiccup on the company side. I'm not defending them as well because, okay, if this was something that was advertised a bunch and this was a new thing being set in place, you know, like before they never had any weight limits for any of their rides and now they're introducing it, okay, you can be a little bit upset. But to say that it's caused her emotional trauma and that they should have just let her on the ride anyways is completely delusional, okay? I have many questions, but my main is, why was there not any mention of the weight limit in the rollout to the opening of the attraction? At the very least, there should be signage at the bottom of the hill to prevent people from having to subject themselves to public humiliation when found to be non-compliant with safety requirements. Okay, So how, if weighing yourself is public humiliation, you shouldn't be going on any rides, okay? I don't know if you've ever been on a roller coaster. They ask for your weight. They even ask for your height, okay? That's something a lot of guys are insecure about, okay? And believe it or not, you're not special. Every kid, when they're growing up, they're like, oh, I want to be tall enough to go on the roller coaster, but I'm not, you know? It just is what it is. Raging Rivers has been such a source of joy for my daughter throughout her childhood, and to have an amazingly awful experience today has saddened me beyond words, as well as negatively impacted my daughter in a way that I'm sure we're going to be discussing in therapy for years to come, and all over 5 pounds. Listen, Mr. Andrew, or whatever your name is, I think the only therapy she's going to be needing is of her dumbass dad putting her on national television. That's got to be the most embarrassing thing ever, okay? I would rather have 5 people know that I'm overweight instead of 5 million, okay?
By not being able to ride the brand new ride was definitely overshadowed by the public humiliation of being asked to step on a scale, and then further than that, being told you're overweight.
Raging Rivers tells KMOV new water tubes for the Mississippi Monster slide are on the way so they can increase the ride's weight capacity. The family holds season tickets to the park, but they say they will not be back anytime soon.
Wait a minute, I'm a bit confused. You're telling me this was your daughter's favorite thing to do and you're never gonna come back because of this one situation? Why don't you try the other rides or something? I don't know, like, why you're blaming the company for this. Sure, they had a little bit of a mishap, but to go to this extent, for, like, you know, just denying your daughter from her favorite activity here, I don't know, man. I would just go on another ride. You know, you can, it's a 13-year-old. You can change their mood around in like 5 minutes, all right? You get rejected from one ride, take her to another ride, man. Like, Jesus Christ. I love one of the comments here. Being offended is better than dying, in my opinion. Just an opinion, guys. All right, that's about it. Let me know what you thought. Bye-bye.